Hello everyone, this is Loueyden, and I realized I started that intro very awkwardly because I always say hey everyone, and I said hello everyone for some weird reason, so that really bothered me, so that's a good start to the stream. But I am going to be doing the Lord of the Rings online. I am going on Loueyden and going back to Elderslade, which it's a little bit odd that I have not finished Elderslade even though the War of Three Peaks has been out for almost 5 months, is it now? It's been out for 4 months, rather. I think. About 4 months, and yeah, I have not actually finished Elderslade. I did all the main storyline, I guess, which is unusual for me as well. So I do just plan to get back to Elderslade solo questing. As I was talking about in yesterday's stream, it has been a while since I've done like a solo sit-down play session in LOTRO, and I don't know, I wanted to go back to Elderslade on this character. There are a lot of different things I can do, and I have to charge my phone. I meant to do that at the start, or before I put this stream up. I don't really need it, but I saw the light flashing for low battery. So this character, I am doing just a couple things on him that I wanted to do before the stream, but I did not get around to doing. First, I want to see if I have anything interesting in my wardrobe that I can put on him. And I really am not sure what I have in here. Probably a lot of the stuff in here is actually from the Warden. The officer set, I don't think that would look too good on a Warden. I like that set, but I just don't think it would work with this character. And hello, Wizco. But yeah, I just kind of want to get something a little bit different for this character. Maybe the Ajaquera would work, except I only have 2 of those pieces in here. Shadow Stalker? Is that the purple one? We will try a purple Loueyden. The outfit I would like to replace, I don't really use this gold one too much. Actually, sometimes use it, but just because it's one of my only few options. Not sure I will actually like this. Let me see, all, and then purple, I believe is the color for that. I don't know if I like purple though for a male character. It might work. We'll actually equip it and see. Maybe without the cloak. That cloak, I have used it too much. No, I do not like this outfit. Okay, we might be using the green outfit on this character. That's at least something a little bit different than what I've been using. Hello, James Taylor as well. So I do, at the beginning of the stream, have a mini announcement that I should have a long and interesting video tomorrow. I actually just randomly decided to do it earlier this afternoon, so there should be something coming up tomorrow. And the way the video worked out is I was hoping, I feel like I need to move slightly to get centered on the webcam, but the way the video worked out is I was hoping it would be like a 10 to 30 minute video and I could do it as a premiere in YouTube. But it ended up being, I think, almost an hour. I have not edited it yet. It should be a short one to edit, but that is the plan, to have a video tomorrow and not have a stream, because I have been in the mood for more stream stuff lately. I don't know if it's a little bit of like burnout with videos, just because I've been doing that so much and it's left me little time to actually play LOTRO or play any game, which is pretty much just LOTRO with me lately. So I've been a bit more in the stream mood, which means a little bit less work on videos, but I also think just at the start of the year, I do so many things at the start of the year. I do the annual gameplays, and those had been going up until almost mid-February. So getting those done, I feel like I have a lot of free time to actually play games that I cover and make videos of now. So that's also another difference, I think. And this character, I don't know why I went to the stable master on him to do this, because he has travels. He is a warden, Loueyden the Warden, and he can muster an Anak curfew. That is what I'm going to do instead of do this swift travel. Save me like 1 silver or something. I'm not sure how much it costs. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to get back to Elderslade on this character, just because I somehow have not finished it yet. I think it's a problem. There are a few reasons I haven't finished it. I can actually get into that, but basically I'm excited to actually get back, and I have not done it because I don't think I enjoy it, because I actually do enjoy everything I have done in this zone so far has been pretty good. But there are a few reasons for me not doing it. First, in December, I couldn't really play anything, so I missed it then. And then second, I should probably do this with my left hand. Second, I don't know the second. I guess I've just been prioritizing a lot of my time doing other projects, and I've been playing on Anora lately. And hello, Vulgar TG, and you are a channel member, which I appreciate, but that actually reminds me, I have new channel member stuff going on that I'm testing out. The little Gandalf thing that Vulgar TG has is, I don't want to do missions. I might do missions, but I don't want to do missions right now. This guy has a quest though. Elderslade supply packs. And as far as I know, this is a useless quest.
You are welcome among us.
I have, yeah, I don't need return to because I have muster 2. Don't need any of this stuff. I don't know why I decided to randomly check this guy. There was something I thought I wanted to check though. Supply pack barter. Maybe it was this. I think I need more reputation before I even look at that. Okay. I guess it's just people to talk to, reminding myself of all that is going on in an At Curfew and an Elderslade with this character. But the main thing again is all of these quests I have once I find the zone. All of these quests. I want to do, I don't know how much I'll get through today, but I wouldn't mind actually finishing Elderslade today. I am prepared to have a long stream this evening. Like up to 3 hours or more basically is what I consider a longer stream. Usually I do 2 hours, but it's super inconsistent with streams just because different things go on. But I consider like 2 hours my standard like stream target. So what I need to do is track the quests I want to do, which means I want to untrack all the quests I don't want to do, which would be all of these. Then maybe the complete ones. Those seem like they would be good ones to do. I just have no idea where all these quests are. This one's northwest. I should just travel there. Alright, how about that one? Goblin Scouts near Mount Gundabad. Probably not quite up to that part yet. Northern Elderslade, I doubt that one. Go to the Overlook. I have no idea where that is, so we'll do that. Maybe check these two just because they have that. This one's a aid Glowin with these different quests. Shattered Stones. Central North region, so that is up north. Collect. Okay, these are all the lost pages it looks like. Missing Scouts. Examine the blood. Maybe we'll do that. To At Curfew. Actually, I should do this one then. Plant banners along the road leading to At Curfew. That seems like a quest I should have done before getting to At Curfew, but that's just the way the storyline, I guess, went a little bit. And hello, Timothy Bennett. I believe this is one of the places I can place the banner. Somehow I remember these little glowing things and placing banners, even though it has been a while since I've done quests in Elderslade on this character. And I think the last time I went through, or was going through some of the quests here, was in January. I think I had one stream of doing War of Three Peaks. So I left the War of Three Peaks. I had a lot of group content left there that I did not do. I was going to maybe try to find a group for eventually, but never got around to it. Whenever I'd play with my kinship on the server, we would do like raids and things like that, which was all fun, but it means I never got around to doing those group quests, at least with a group. But I did eventually get to doing them solo, and it was actually fun to do those solo, so I was happy with that. But we need to go to At Curfew and get that. Okay, getting YouTube is being weird, but that is pretty standard. So I'm having a little bit low FPS in the game right now, basically because of that, but it should calm down in a moment. Somebody was giving me Discord notifications, so I just wanted to check real quick that nothing was wrong with the stream, because that did happen before. Somebody, or I was having an issue with the stream and somebody let me know on Discord, which was quite helpful, that there were issues. So I need to assist with a couple quests here, which I think would be inside the war room. That is the same outfit I have. I do like that outfit for raiding, but it's also just such an extreme outfit that I can't use it all the time. This one. And right now, I don't know, I just feel like this outfit's actually really good for questing. I don't know if the people I need to assist are up here or where they are, or if they're even actually in the war room. Maybe I actually already have those quests, I think. So somehow I got a quest, got 2 quests, and then I got a quest to do those quests later. I wonder if I actually finished a strange encounter in the missing scouts before I even got this quest, how that would have worked. Or if I would have just auto-completed it somehow. That to me seems like a concerning thing that could very easily be buggy and prevent you from progressing in the zone, but because I did not actually run into that issue, it did not happen with me. So I think we are good to actually go out on an adventure now, though. After all this time, it's actually pretty short for me to get going with questing. Just like 10 minutes, well, a little over 10 minutes after starting the stream. Really like those flying drakes still that go around. But I feel like my FPS is definitely lower than it usually is. I don't know if that's because I have messed with graphic settings over time, and I know new zones usually are not the best with that as far as performance goes. And there is the potential issue that Chrome is actually taking up a lot of my CPU, and it looks like a couple Chrome processes were. So I'll also try that to maybe help a little bit. But I could just need to turn my graphic settings down, especially if it's annoying to people. I don't know if I need to kill random enemies. One goal, other than just questing, is to do some deeds, maybe. As far as deeds go, that's actually something I should look at. Is this? Yes, this does count as Romanian. Wow, 27 of 80, but that's for missions for War of Three Peaks. Get 10,000 virtue XP. That's pretty nice for doing all the missions, or pretty nice for a deed, but you have to do all the missions to get that. Explorer. I've already completed 2 of the explorers, even though I have not done all the quests. That's kind of crazy. This water, this area is really nice. I don't know why this particular stream though. I just like this stream. Like, this zone is honestly not the most beautiful zone. These rocks are not the prettiest thing in LOTRO. They're not annoying like these bushes, these uglier variety of bushes. They're a little bit less ugly in this zone somehow, compared especially just the brown-ish ones in Rohan. These look a little bit greener than usual, to me at least, but it's still the ugly-ish variety of bushes, I think. Yeah, I am definitely having FPS issues when we look at all that far away. I'm going down to 30 FPS, which is not good. So I will probably have to adjust my settings a little bit here. I probably had my settings turned up because I was doing so much low level stuff and a little bit lower level areas. So I wonder, I don't really know which settings would be best to turn down right now. Especially, I don't even have high quality lighting turned on. That's usually the type of setting that gives me a lot of issues. Ambient occlusion's usually not much issue with that. Maybe I do have issues with that. It actually seemed to help a bit. Or did it? No, it actually looks the same to me with and without. So Andrew, you said it is 30,000 virtue XP altogether for missions. Dynamic shadows probably can disable that. Usually for me at least, shadows and lighting are some of the least important settings. Landscape shadows, blob shadows, environmental stencil shadows. Let's see on that one. It's not really doing too much. I wonder, sometimes it's actually better if I start on medium and then go up with a few settings. The most important one to me is textures. Even here I'm getting about 60 FPS. It's a little bit concerning to me just because I don't know if something is messed up with my actual graphic settings, or it's just where I am, where I'm just happening to notice it here because I have been in sort of lag-free zones mainly lately. Okay, I like these turned up. Frill distance, that's okay at medium. Landscape draw distance, I should be fine with that. Fill density, I'm not turning it down necessarily for performance, but I prefer it down just based on looks. Atmospheric detail should be good. Not even interacting with water right now. Textures, turn that way up. Okay, there is something missing here. Object draw distance, probably turn that to ultra high. And maybe that is my issue. Wow, that actually does help the FPS, but the kind of gates to Gundabad start to disappear. I've never actually noticed object draw distance having that much of an impact on my performance, but the FPS, it's a very small counter. I don't know if y'all can see. Turning off post-processing effects, I can check that. And Elia Delanis, you said the stream looks good and it's better than the ones you're used to in Eriador. Let me see post-processing effects. Usually I like those on. That doesn't seem to have much difference to me. Right now, I don't know glow mapping. I'm kind of conflicted if I actually like glow mapping or not. Sometimes it's very annoying for getting screenshots, actually. But I will run with this. I don't want to spend this whole stream doing settings, and it looks like I ran across randomly a quest item. Blood spatter. Follow the trail of blood. Okay. Probably not the best idea to do something like this on a war steed, especially because I don't see where the trail of blood continues to. Actually, up here, okay. But Andrew, you said for all the missions, 30,000 virtue XP, that is a lot. I feel like one of the issues with missions for replayability, or at least at first to me, was it didn't reward much virtue XP. They slowly increased the rewards. I feel like missions overall are a lot more rewarding than they started at. Wow, the blood spatter is almost going, I guess, towards this structure. I was going to say going towards Anak Curfew, but that is far away. Yeah, one of the things with LOTRO is it doesn't utilize my CPU all the way. I think it's CPU intensive, but it doesn't multi-thread. I assume I'm supposed to go in here. And then with the GPU, it does not even get close to utilizing all of my GPU, which is almost a good thing just because my GPU is so old, but it still doesn't utilize. It's only at, I think, usually 20 to 50% maybe. And that is true with the GPUs. Even if I got a new GPU, if that would somehow help, even though my current one's not fully utilized, which I would hope getting a newer GPU would somehow still help. But yeah, there are not basically any available. I even thought about, like, last year maybe looking at getting in GTX 1660 or something like that, which is a relatively cheap GPU, and it's at least an upgrade over my 970. But now with the RTX 3060 Ti and even 3070 being relatively cheap, at least to me relatively cheap looking compared to similar performing GPUs, this is basically the same as one of the missions, and I must be playing in a weird spec because I should not have Defiant Challenge if I'm playing the yellow line. And that is probably why my damage is all kind of funky. I have been playing as if I'm in the yellow line this whole time, and that is not the case. I think I would be in the red line. I wonder what I was doing on the red line on this character, just because I seem to not usually play that too much anymore. Okay, so we got one quest done. And one other thing with LOTRO is without OBS running, I do get a bit better performance. So OBS does have a decent impact at least. I think some areas even, I'll go from about 60 FPS, which is what I have it locked at for the refresh rate of my monitor. So I have it at that, and then OBS, sometimes just having it open will take it down to about 40 FPS in some areas. Yeah, for me, one thing with the missions is it's almost an inconvenience that you can only run, well, you can technically run 8 a day, but the daily quest is to only run 3, so it feels like it is more effort for me to go to the war room and then go back to whatever I would be doing compared to actually running those 3 missions. So I don't know, it's a little bit of a weird balance there to me as far as conveniently going to run missions and start them, compared to the rewards, which would be useful, but it's so little you can do per day. It's just at an odd spot for me. That is why I personally don't do them a little bit more. I really like this zone during this time of day, kind of getting a little bit sunsetty. I think it's, yeah, dusk, which would be after sunset, I think, technically. Although it looks like the sun is still above the mountain a little bit. I don't know what I am doing for quests here. I'm just kind of running around, taking in the zone and landscape. So I need an advanced Slayer deed for the drakes, but don't need to focus on that. I think I still have quests on the east end here, so we kind of need to track back a little bit. I can definitely tell like my character or even the horse's shadows are lower quality. I don't know, it's an unfortunate thing with LOTRO that at these newer zones especially, I don't know if there's just more detail or more stuff going on, more odd objects and things like that. I know that's a big issue in Minas Tirith, for example, or at least was at the time, is there were just a bunch of different objects that made my FPS worse usually. Okay, quests, I have one that's supposedly right here-ish. Is this to find the Dwarf Scout, maybe? Did I ever actually switch to Yellow Line? I did not. That's something I should do. What spec is Yellow Line? I feel like it is 2, but on my other warden I feel like it's 3 maybe. And this time I forgot to actually go into ranged dance. Okay, here is the Dwarf Scout, and it is a corpse. And I found one of these mysterious notes, or maybe that's for this quest that I got. Then examine the footprints. Okay, and then I do have a quest to travel to Zedromden, which is not down here. I thought I might have a quest for this area, but maybe it either comes later or I could potentially have done it. And hello, Jeremy Fernandez. I always feel awkward now with the face cam if I randomly have to scratch my face, but my eye was really itchy, my eyelid. Okay, so for quests. Missing Scouts, that is ready back at Inat Curfew. This one is Inat Curfew. Find Muta. Okay, this is northern Elderslade, so just to check where that is, that's pretty far up. At the gates, don't want that one yet. The Zerm place. Okay, that is right there. Chipping the Bones. Okay, that's to the north as well. Where is this Flithseld area? Oh, there's that little circle. That's further afield. That is the Dwarf Scout Borghild. And then letter from Leothred. Where is this quest? Must be totally missing where this is, unless it's Irid Mithrin or even Wells of Blingblood somehow. It actually is Wells of Blingblood? Yeah, it is actually Wells of Blingblood. I have an Elderslade quest, but it is in Wells of Blingblood. Okay, we will actually go back and do that because I don't want to miss anything, and I feel like backtracking now could be way better than backtracking way in the future. I can't believe for a couple minutes, like 15 minutes ago, that I thought I was actually going to be getting to the questing kind of fast here. But we ran into large slowdowns. I did get at least one quest done, I guess. Or two quests. We did the tracking one and then the missing dwarf scout. And hello, Canwick. And unfortunately, I feel like the chat, I probably can change some settings with that, try to do lower latency. I don't know the issues with viewing with that, but I could try that a little bit. And just with the chat, it's on such a delay that this actually frequently happens too often, I should say, that I will have questions like that, then people will answer in the chat as soon as I have figured it out, and that is the case here. So it sounds like that is a long quest chain. That is okay. I will go there and at least see what it looks like. My return to Elderslade may be a long quest chain in the Wells of Blingblood, it sounds like. This zone's pretty. It's much greener. I feel like that's the big thing lacking in Elderslade, is greenness. A giant possibly named Fragmod. This quest actually interests me enough that I want to read the text just based on the name. See, if they have a good captivating name for a quest like that, I am somebody that will occasionally read quest text, except it's not a great idea to do that while moving. So I will sit here and calm down as we read that, staring at the sun, through the mountains, through the fog. But anyway, this quest is, you've heard rumors, stone giant who goes by the name Fragmod. There's a comma and then there's a capital T. That is a little bit odd. But the rumors are also included. Okay. Unfortunately, the name was way more interesting than the quest text. So this quest chain is all about Scatha's Horde, and if I understand that correctly, that is either hobgoblins or the little whelpling, like drakes or drakes. I don't think in my Wells of Blingblood questing that I am quite up to this area yet. I guess it is good, maybe you don't need to do Wells of Blingblood and to actually do this part. For my Wells of Blingblood questing, this character is, I think, getting towards being finished with Limlock. So here, while it is not required, it is recommended you have completed. Okay, yeah, I have not done this, but I will go back and do that later. This quest sounds interesting, especially if it goes north to the Drake area in Wells of Blingblood. I don't know, I always like dragons and that type of stuff, even in LOTRO. And I don't know who the Karazagar guy is. Ooh, that is... I don't know if I've ever seen an enemy like that in LOTRO. It looks like a giant dragon worm, but a little bit almost dinosaur-y compared to that even. Alright, I have a priority to get a screenshot here. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing to the quest. Okay, listening for a tale. To a tale, rather. Always good to have different options. I'll try to fit him into a thumbnail. I don't know quite how well that would work. Maybe this angle's a little bit better. It looks like we are ready to fight Scatha. So this quest chain, it starts in Wells of Blingblood, but it will end up in Elderslade. That is good. That is where I thought it would lead. I heard about this quest chain before. So there's the one where you go from the east, and yes, Hunsu, that's a very messed up dog. That's one thing about games is sometimes animals like that, they just look so friendly and nice, even if it is a little bit messed up version of a dog. Sometimes I really do feel bad killing things and attacking them like that. But, on the other hand, it is just a video game.
Come, let us return to Framesburg. There is more to learn in the ruins there.
Alright, so now we go to Framesburg? I guess that's okay, to the west. I did do some quests. I guess the Legacy of Durin is what went over here to this island area. So I have been all around this region, or decently around this region, but it was for the Legacy of Durin and the Trials of the Dwarves, and I think, yeah, that bridge does not exist right now. There is a kind of shady looking bridge right here, but hopefully it will hold me. It actually doesn't look too worn down or anything. It looks like a bridge that should be more dangerous looking than it actually is. Although if I were really to pay attention, these little wood planks just sticking there, they're a little bit concerning. I don't know what this is with LOTRO, but there's a weird bug where you get to see the sun glare, even if it's behind the mountains, behind the surface and all that. So go over here, and Indra, you said the Blingblood part of the quest line was a long list of Frohirrim leaders who died falling off horses. Oh no. Let's see, I'm trying to navigate my way around this, and I think I need to go east. Okay, I can actually see that Skatha guy being a little bit like an havent as well. I know it's supposed to be like a dragon worm, and that's kind of what these things are. They are dragon kind. I'd almost consider a Drake havent type hybrid, but I don't really know if that would be accurate. That's just based on my impressions from what I remember of it when we saw it a little bit ago. And I have no idea how I'm having so much trouble here. I just need to move north. I don't know, I don't have any deeds to kill something like that. I have a quest to kill the little cats. So Wizco, you said if a game makes you feel bad for killing fictional animals, that shows you how most of the real game is and how well LOTRO has aged. That is true. If you can have a game, I think, that does that, means it is good.
Once stood here.
Fitted helmet of Skatha's horde. I know none of these quest rewards should be useful. I actually recently upgraded to this helmet. I had like an item level 400 helmet or something. Might have been like 404 or 405, but I got this huge upgrade helmet from barter. And these would have been a huge upgrade for me before that, but now they are obviously not an upgrade. It's really crazy with gear at this item level though, just how much of an increase there is from the beginning of level 130 to the, well, whatever the current max, I guess, for level 130 is. But anyway, yeah, I don't need that. I don't know if I'd actually want this for cosmetics. That is an ugly helmet. None of these look good to me.
Come, let us search the ruins of Framesburg once more.
Learn the history, okay.
Come, let us search
I do remember quests like this.
and learn what we can about Fram.
This one is Frame. I wonder if I have to do this in different locations. That is kind of like the Legacy of Durin quest. There was a lot of learning history like this. And based on the looks of the map, it does look like that. So Salty Scrunt, you spent some LOTRO points and you got the level 120 Valor for a Runekeeper. And yes, the 120 Valors make your characters very OP for the level. Your power will go down relatively
Let us learn what we can of From's return.
as you get to 130, but... Okay, talk to him elsewhere. We'll go south a little bit. And I decided to pull this guy, but that is okay. We can see if I don't need them for a deed either. There's a regular worm. Really should just be getting all my worst deed. The only problem is they can quickly one-shot me off of it, but I just killed them pretty quickly. I wonder if I could have somehow lined up regular zone questing with the Wells of Blingblood with these quests. That would have been convenient, I guess, but I don't think it'll be much of a problem to go back here. This actually makes me more excited to do the Wells of Blingblood questing than I was before, though. I know it's something I've just been super slow with questing in LOTRO lately, but it's something I still do want to do at some point, and I should have a lot of time with the next update being Wildwood, and I do intend to do Wildwood and do all that on a low-level character, but that gives Loueyden a little bit more of a chance, I think, to actually get caught up with all of the content. And I have had a lot of time, I guess you could consider, but I did Minas Morgul. I did all of that. I think I started that in August, I want to say, is when I actually started that. It could have been September, though. But I did Minas Morgul, I did part of Wells of Blingblood, I did the War of Three Peaks phase of Elderslade. I just have not done too much. A lot of the times I've played this character, it seems like I've been playing whatever my kin on Arkenstone here has done raids and instances and just end-game group content, that type of stuff, so I haven't had too much questing time. And Salty Scrunt, you think questing and dating is boring. So dating I could agree with, but I feel like as a player I have totally changed in what type of content I enjoy. I used to not really be the biggest fan of questing. I liked questing and I enjoyed my experience questing, but I always wanted to quest with a goal. I wanted to quest to gain XP to level up to get towards endgame, and this is especially true thinking in World of Warcraft in the early days of LOTRO with me. That's why I would quest to level up and get to endgame content. But I feel like lately, especially the past year, I have just like taken a liking to questing basically. And I don't know, avoiding group content in endgame. There are a few reasons I think to do that in LOTRO, or at least with like pushing higher difficulty tiers at endgame at these higher levels. But yeah, I've also, I don't know if I've really made the discovery that I like questing, because I've always enjoyed questing, but I don't think I fully realized that I always enjoyed the experience rather than necessarily the destination, even though I do enjoy raiding. It also takes me back to Mists of Pandaria a little bit in World of Warcraft. I don't know, I have I guess a little bit of a soft spot for that expansion, even though parts of it were a little bit rough, but that's when I came back to WoW after missing Cataclysm. We need to go inside here and do something. But with that expansion, I enjoyed endgame and questing. I don't know how I got on about that. Probably this zone. This zone just makes me think of Mists of Pandaria and WoW, probably because it's called it's called Mist. There's something with Mist somewhere. Mist Hollow. And it does remind me a little bit of all the Panda lands in Mists of Pandaria. But yeah, I don't really know just with the whole questing versus raiding. They're both enjoyable activities to me. But I feel like I've done more group content lately. And it's been a while since I've done solo content. I've also feel like just I've had a general shift towards liking just doing solo group content. Not, did I say solo group content? I meant solo content, solo questing content rather. These mobs are annoying because they, just as a warden, I can't quite one-shot them. I might be able to if I use the correct skill. Although this thing is so weak. Oh, these mobs, these are full mobs. I thought they were little greeny mobs, but yeah, they just take just long enough to kill that it's kind of an annoying amount of time to kill. I feel like I should be killing them quicker, even though they already die very quickly. So it's just a little bit of a weird thing. Here is one more ancient adornment. I wonder if there's a Bat Slayer deed. I feel like there should be. There are not that many deeds that I've run into recently with Wells of Blingblood. I was hoping any of the mobs I've killed today would count for a deed. And I need to try to find my way back out, and I think I fortunately found it pretty quickly. But also, just thinking in terms of content and that type of stuff I enjoy, I used to also play like a bunch of different alts, and I feel like I've gotten a little bit less altaholic-y lately. I think it's more of a time constraint than anything though, but I used to just like go out and do random questing on low-level characters or something, or do group content on them, and I have not done that in quite a while. I think it's partially also because we have the level progression groups with my kin on Anor. So we actually have like level locked at level 60 right now for Moria content, and then also a second leveling group at like level 35 or something around there. Which, speaking of that, I really need to find a character to level in Wildwood. One problem I'm having right now is I'm not in the mood for any of my characters, any of the classes for characters I have that are close to the level range of Wildwood. I would actually be interested in a lore master, but my lowest level lore master is on Anor, and that is actually Louis, the original from Anor, and he is level 53-ish, I think. So it's a little bit high level for that. My burglar is the closest. He is, I think, close to 40, like level 38 or something. And then Wendalb Greyheim. He looks awfully like Gandalf. In fact, he looks almost the exact same as the Gandalf we see in the Prancing Pony. Wendalb? I'm trying to think the name a little bit. I know that Andal is the same as Gandalf, but I don't know if there's any significance with the W and B there. Now his name is Dorfel. I really don't know the deal with these guys' names, but it's a little bit interesting. Oh yeah, and for Wildwood, classes I would want to go through it on. Warden, which I feel like I've played too much Warden lately, somehow. So Warden, Beorning I would want to go through it. Hunter, I like the idea of going through Hunter, but I just have not been in the mood to play a Hunter. And yes, I do enjoy Burglar when I play it, but I just am not too much in the mood for it, I guess. Lately, I don't know, it could change by time Wildwood comes out. That would be ideal, actually, that I get in the mood for Burglar. But I do have a Hunter who's almost level 30. I'd have to spend a little bit of time leveling him up to 45. Wouldn't be too hard to do that. We do have a VIP bonus XP weekend now. I could do, maybe on like Saturday, do an early stream on a Hunter. The problem is if I level my Hunter then decide I don't want to do it for Wildwood, I'm kind of stuck. But I feel like just thinking of classes that would enjoy going through a Wildwood area, Beorning is definitely one. That would be fun to me, actually. In Hunter, I think thematically in Wildwood, it's a good Hunter place. Any forested area like that, I feel like is a good place for Hunter to quest. Warden as well, especially this Warden with this outfit. This would be pretty good for Wildwood. Okay, so I listened to his tale. There's a lot of food on these tables. But other classes, I'm totally forgetting the other classes. The Lore Master I somehow feel like would be thematic for Wildwood, even though that might not make sense. But yeah, those are like the 4 main classes I could have seen myself actually wanting to go through Wildwood on just because of the region, which I really shouldn't pick a class just based on the region and what's going on there.
What began in celebration almost ended in a declaration of war.
Wonder, these could actually be useful if it has good stats, and I don't think there is one with good stats for me, so we'll pick a random one. Okay, talk to Leothred on the path towards Arid Mithrin. So we're on a journey to Erebor. That's interesting. Not really where I expected to go. I would have expected to go straight to Arid Mithrin. And I wonder what the best way there is. Probably not bouncing between those stones with the Worsted. Okay, so we need to go east and down this path. Okay. Gabe Parker, you were wondering if there is a new area, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about specifically, Wildwood will be coming out in Update 29, which will be a new part of Breland, actually. And it's going to be level 45, so I'm trying to decide which character I want to level through that. The 2 main options I have are really Burglar and Hunter, or Minstrel. Potentially Champion, but probably not Champion. Actually, Champion is an option. Champion can be a fun class to me, but I think it's one that can get boring quickly as well. I don't know, maybe I just need to play the Hunter. I really don't know why I'm so anti-Hunter at the moment. It could be because I haven't actually taken that Hunter questing, or it could actually be because he's a High Elf. Somebody mentioned the odd High Elf animations. I almost feel like that's getting to me with the Hunter. That I almost don't enjoy my Hunter as much as I could if it were like a regular elf, just because of the weird High Elf animations they have going on. Which I never really considered before. I just thought about that. I wonder if that actually is the case. That'd be a little bit odd for me. Or it could be because I've been playing Yellow Line so much and I don't really have interest in that. Blue Line. I feel like Blue Line's a little bit awkward with the Hunter since they changed Barrage. When they changed the Blue Line Hunter to make Barrage after you use it 3 times have a long cooldown, I feel like that kind of got rid of the fun of the Blue Line Hunter. While it did nerf the damage, that part was definitely successful. I feel like it could still be fun if they did not change that, but actually nerf the damage it did. Instead of removing the fun part of it, basically. And what are we doing? Journey to Erebor. Gather meats for the journey to Erebor. So they're making me go back out, which hopefully they're just meats over here. Oh, badger meat. That's not a thing they want, apparently. Alright, does the moose have meat? The moose does have meat. So they like moose meat, but not badger meat for the road. Avonk meat? Honestly, that would be a little bit weird to me eating Avonk meat. I don't know if they do have meat, but they don't for the quest at least. Not really seeing anything but the badgers and Avonks right now. Here's an Anduin Hunter. I need that for another quest, but I'll eventually get that done anyway. I'm not in any big hurry to get culling the hunters. There's so much stuff going on the ground, the camera keeps getting blocked by it all. And I actually have a little point to make. I feel like I talk way too much about the bushes, but these bushes right here are a lot prettier than these ugly bushes. And if they replaced every single ugly bush like this one in the game, so very ugly to me at least, with more pretty varieties like this one, there are better ones I think even than this, but I would have a lot less to complain about with the bushes basically if they actually had ones like that. Okay, as far as the quest goes, I need 3 more meats and I have 2 moose right now pulled. That is one I already have. There is one I just targeted, okay. And that should be all I need, assuming both moose have meat. I can somehow magically get it while running away. Now I have to actually find my way back, and it does not look like I went too far away, fortunately. Even if it felt like it. Even these bushes with the purple looking flowers, I think those look better. I am glad, I will say, at least with this zone, and it seems like some of the newer ones, they have added a little bit more variety to bushes other than just these plain ugly ones. So, Bacalunius, he said those ugly bushes just look like veins and not actual branches. Yeah, they just don't look appealing to me. Is the problem. Like, I like a lot of the things and a lot of the world building in LOTRO, but those bushes. Did we travel somewhere, or are we in an instance? We might have actually traveled. I don't think I'm in an instance right now. Yeah, I'm not in an instance. We actually traveled to Erebor, okay. Now I can see a little bit why we gathered meat for that. Because we did actually travel to Erebor. I was expecting us to go to like Arid Mithrin and do something there and then just decide to go towards Gundabad instead in Elderslade. Okay, so I actually need to go inside Erebor. That's a little bit odd that it turned to this gate. I just noticed something in the loading screen or something. Not the loading screen, but here. You have one door, and then you have this little hallway room thing, and then you have another, like, exact copy of the door. That was just a little bit of a weird thing. And then when you get to the inside, it's like one of these drop gate things. I really have no idea what to call those besides gates. There's probably a name for them that I'm just not familiar with, but that type of gate. Alright, more history learning. This is a lot better than just comparing to West Rohan, where there's a lot of story like that going on. This is a lot better than that, where you can just click something but then continue the quest if you don't want to pay attention to all the story. And you can use your mount in even worse state in here. I kind of remember that. I think once you get to the hall under the mountain you cannot though. I don't know how I became so familiar with this area, probably from the Legacy of Durin. Hello Sean Morris, you said, I am super helpful for you as a noob and get you really excited about the game and how you're addicted. That part doesn't sound too good, but sometimes being addicted to a game is not that bad. This is a tiny map, but anyway, I'm glad that you enjoy the content. I'm glad it's all helpful, and thank you for all that. I think there's a lot to be excited about with LOTRO as well. Like right now I'm excited to get back to Elderslade. I don't know where Frothy is. I think it might be Frothy with that accent mark, I'm not sure. But I really have no idea where he is, so I'm just heading straight this way. And you can use... Oh, I thought I was able to use a mountain here. Does not look to be the case. I thought it would let me use... I thought I had a boar there. This is King Thorin III, who is not Frothy. I actually want to get a screenshot of this guy, though. I don't know if I will use him in a thumbnail. That is not the best angle, actually. Okay, that should be good. Trying to have a little bit more variety with my thumbnails and things like that is why I try to get screenshots of a little bit unusual things now. So yeah, I still have no idea where Frothy is. Should talk to him in Erebor. That does not help me too much. I hope he wasn't back at the start there. That would be a little bit annoying just because I have run so far away from that. And there he is. I just totally missed him earlier, I guess. He's a lore master. I'm pretty sure dwarves are not allowed to be lore masters, so that's a little bit odd. And something we went to Scarhold. So this will also not be an instance. I think I briefly saw that text. He looks like an elf. Like a Christmas elf outfit. Not like an elf. Makes me think of Christmas, this area, Scarhold right here. But anyway, as far as the quest, I need to go to the west. And this time I think I can actually get on my mount. Very busy area for the war steed.
We should be careful going forward.
Oh, gather supplies. I feel like I have done this hundreds of times in this camp. I don't know why, it just feels like every time I go here there's a quest to gather supplies. They just have too many supplies is maybe the issue. Could turn floating names on for this. I usually don't like playing with floating names just because having the names all over the screen is a little bit cluttery, I guess. And annoying, but it is useful for quests like this, I believe. It's almost more immersive not doing that, but at the same time I just press the delete key to target things anyway, so it's not like I'm super immersed actually trying to find supplies or anything like that. Surprisingly clean inventory. I almost want to say messy inventory because I have so much, but that is a very clean inventory for me lately.
Thank you for gathering these much needed supplies. Frothy has told me that the dwarves.
Okay, now travel to Anak Curfew, so we are ready to go back to Elderslade. Loueyden is returning to Elderslade again. So yeah, we have returned to Elderslade at the beginning of the stream, and now he is returning here again for the new... Can't remember the name of that dragon worm thing. But to continue that quest, I think. This is just defeat Gundabad forces. Okay. And that means we are ready to get back to our adventure. It looks like Nope, Faded Fears? Okay. As far as quests go, I still have so many to find the Dwarf Scout. Okay, don't need that. Do I have any other turn-ins? Yes, I do want to do the turn-ins I have, so I have one at least outside.
Aye. Durin's folk shall it.
Okay. So, YouTube, it keeps saying I have some error with the audio and no bitrate, but I think my microphone seems working. I can hear everything in the stream. I assume if people would let me know if the audio just randomly cut out, but everything looks working from my end. It's just YouTube saying my audio bitrate is 0. So I'm tending to injured scouts. This also seems like a familiar quest. I really do think I did this before. It was probably in the War of Three Peaks phase of this zone, but I really do feel like I did this exact thing before. Okay, thank you for the info, Sean. So it sounds like the stream is all working. And did I get the subscriber town services? I actually did. I can't believe I remembered to do that at the beginning of the stream. It seems like it's such a rare occasion for me as well to remember that. I don't think I used the subscribers jug though. It's not like I have died, but I think your repair, you can still have to do that. And I don't know if I missed injured scouts or if there's some up here. I almost feel like it's a bad idea once I saw myself heading up here, but while we're on the way up here, I did want to check here in case there were other quests I needed to turn in or anything. And that does not look to be the case, and I don't see any injured scouts, so... that was good to check here to make sure I didn't need to do anything, but it ended up being all for naught. So were there 2 injured scouts actually missed in here, or could they be outside even? I think they could be outside. That was an interesting hat. That's why I clicked that person. It looks like a kind of plain old winter hat in a way. Okay, so yeah, here is an injured scout. Then I might have some other quests. I have at least one turn in at Agatur there. Agatur the Boastful. So this one is plant banners along the road leading to Zudramdan. I really am. Gundabad, if it's anything like the lead up to it, I'm going to have so much trouble pronouncing all the different things there. Okay, got that quest done. Hopefully that did not actually open anything else. That would not be good for me right now, because I plan to just head back out here. Okay, so I need to plant banners, and then I'll just head to that camp, I guess, and see what pops up along the way. I really don't know how much more questing I have in this zone. This is, as far as I know, I'm still near the start of the actual Elderslade region. I went from the east. I did a lot of stuff over here actually. So I went from the east. Ooh, I have a quest. Unmasking the Messenger. That's actually to the east, but I went from the east and did all the stuff from Irid Mithrin side. And now I've done the Mist Hollow side as well, so they hopefully will be coming together. And I'll have probably a bunch to do just throughout the area. I already have a bunch of quests, I know. I already have some for Wormsgraf area up north and some for the Gates of Gundabad. So as far as I can tell, there's still a lot to do in the zone. Fresh footprints, and what do I do with the fresh footprints? I examine them. Oh, and then an Ingmarum. That was unexpected. Of all the things I would have thought would not have been an Ingmarum there. Okay, defeat Gundabad scouts or use the whistle to summon Egbrig. Wait, is that is Egrig? Egrig? Afrig? I was just talking about all these names hard to pronounce, and I have no idea how to pronounce that one, so we'll go with Egrig. And Gundabad scouts, I also don't know where to look for these guys. We'll keep floating names on, and there actually is one. I don't know what the deal with or use the whistle. It probably just means you can use the whistle during this quest, but it doesn't actually progress the quest just using the whistle. Okay, so Gundabad scouts there are to the northeast mainly. Well, north and northeast. There is one as well that I targeted. Don't know where it is. There it is. Okay, so I just need to defeat 5 of these scouts. So I thought they're doing a really good job at hiding from me right now. This one's hiding behind a rock. I also probably should be looting these things like the Blingblood scarring deposits just because I can. Almost feels like a waste to not loot them just because they're there and I can. Always good to have more resources, even if I ultimately never do end up using them, which, speaking of resources, I should probably try to actually stay up with this character's crafting. Slowly try to get my guild reputation up. As much as I'm personally not a big fan of guild crafting in LOTRO. I think it's fine for some of the lower levels, but it's just another grindy thing, I guess. I don't know, for me it just doesn't really work out to be an exciting thing. It kind of makes me feel like it is required and it should just be regular crafting that's like that. Like, having the regular crafting just feels unimpactful to me. I guess everything feels like it requires guild crafting, which might not be the case, but that's just the way it feels like to me. We need one more Gundabad scout. There should be plenty in this general area, so I might as well kill a fierce mountain drake in the meantime, and a scavenging crow, and another mountain drake. There's a mob down here, and that one actually is a Gundabad scout, so that works out. And there's another Gundabad scout, just in case, well, if I don't lag too much, just in case the other one doesn't die. Okay, that was it for that, and we are ready for a turn in, it looks like. I feel like I should go ahead and turn in this quest. Even though usually when I have a whole bunch of quests like this, I like to go out and do them all, but it feels like this zone has a particular flow that it would be best to not do that, as far as I can tell, and go ahead and turn in this quest and see if I get going anywhere else. Especially because I have done all the other Anna-Curfew quests so far, and they all have sent me, if I remember correctly, I have done a few. And everything's starting to send me to the west now, to the next camp it seems like. So actually get finished with everything here first. Okay, so what quest is that? Digging deeper? Okay, just had to turn around. She was right here. And hello, Tortuga. If I can stop skipping on the edge of those stairs there. So I need to use my Warhorn to defeat Ufluk. And he is at the top of Circle Saloon there. So I will, go all that way. I don't mean to keep pressing R there. I don't remember if I actually did quests on top of there or not yet. I feel like I did, but I also feel like I could be confusing it with missions, because I know there are a few missions that go there, and even the war phase of the zone, I don't remember if that's there in the war phase of the zone actually. The whole structure of this part of the zone especially is very altered looking in the war phase of the zone. Here I think I can plant a banner. I feel like ever since Minas Morgul, they really like banners in this game. Planting banners, taking down banners, burning banners of the enemy, all that type of stuff. Okay, so this should also defeat the Gundabad forces for me. As long as I hit everything with range resounding challenge, we are all set. The only question at that point is if I can survive all the damage I'm taking in the meantime. But with the Warden, I like to always be on the move and always continue going through this thing, just keep pulling things. I hit each thing once, I might turn around and hit them with 2 gambits. Overall, like I'm using ranged exaltation of battle, but that is it. Especially with the playstyle of the Outline Warden, that you really do just run through things like this. And if you get range resounding challenge, that is a strong thing. Of course, the strong dot. And it gives the bleed, so I do all that. Hopefully, it actually does look like Never Surrender did trigger. But eventually everything will die with range resounding challenge. It does kill them, but it does so kind of slowly. Actually, I am taking a lot of damage here. Wow, I really should not have died with that. Alright, I got in a little bit too far there with that. The reflection pull, I don't think I need to do that. It's still held by orcs. This reflecting pull is not safe to use. It almost seems like a little spoiler. I don't know if we'll be retaking this and then we can use the reflecting pull. But anyway, this is not even where I needed to go. I was just having too much fun pulling too many things. I wonder if the issue was range resounding challenge is just killing them too slowly. I saw the bleed tick down there. I don't know, it killed that guy pretty fast. He did a decent amount of damage to me, but maybe I just had too many things hitting me and some things might not have gotten properly hit. And if I only hit something with like Exaltation of Battle there, which I think was the case for some of the enemies, that will be on its own fairly slow. Exaltation of Battle itself does hardly any damage, but even the bleed from it, which I was taking way too long to hover over that. Even the bleed from that is not super strong, 40,000. Like, it's helpful to have that bleed. That's the main reason I use that skill, actually, is for the bleed, but alone it will take a while to kill the enemies, even if it can kill them on their own, so that was another potential issue. Anyway, good to learn lessons, because my level 100 Warden, I can definitely, at that point, that Warden I think is just so overpowered that I can do that, but the higher level content here, I guess they add a little bit more challenge than the level 100 stuff. There was something I need here, a little note right there. Sometimes I actually do miss playing Redline Warden and just going in melee. I almost feel like just range resounding challenge being such a strong gamut, I feel like I need to use that every time I play a Warden, and then the L line is fun, but sometimes I do just miss going into melee. And just doing that, I will say. Oh, I did not mean to use Android maneuver there. That is not a good option for yellow line wardens. This quest is really weird, and I have to deliver a report, but I do have a quest ring over this way. Oh, somebody just did that. Okay, it's another warden actually. I don't think, I don't need to defeat any more Gundabad forces, so I think I'll just actually muster back to Inn at Corfu. And I should have a couple turn-ins there if I don't get hit by the Gundabad guys here. Yeah, these hobgoblins actually do a little bit of decent damage, it seemed like to me. That is one thing with the Warden that we went on a little bit with the Wells of Blingblood, is it just takes time for all the damage over times to build up, of course. So I had like the 3 strong dots there, 3 relatively strong dots. So it took a little bit of time for the enemies to die. In the meantime, they could just hit me.
Dwarves in Elderslade Elderslade,
And if the fights were a lot longer,
we should begin our
I would be relatively safe just because of
made from Scuffer's
all the dots I had going on, but couldn't realize the full effect of those, basically. Okay, so that quest is search the Dvergots, the Durgvots, we'll call it that. Durgvot something or other. That is actually by the lake, it looks like. The hunt for Scutha. Okay.
Our need is dire.
This quest is just defeat Iron Crown Scouts. Okay. I don't know, I feel like I'm doing more on the eastern side of the zone than I expected, I guess. But I guess with doing the Wells of Blingblood, the new Scotha questline, I think getting Bears of Bad News, that seems to be associated with that from what I remember from the quests I've done so far. Oh, there is an Iron Crown Scout back there, actually. I will wait, it looks like they are maybe more densely populated in this little area. I keep hitting in at the same time as I'm hitting M, so that's what's going on with the floating names going on and off. I'm not actually meaning to turn it on and off each time, I just... Oh, I'm in melee stance, that is what is going on. Okay, so that is 2 Iron Crown Scouts. There is one more right here. And hopefully there's a 4th one, but I do not see a 4th one. I tried to use my interrupt, but I used my debuff remover. Hopefully I had a debuff and that didn't go to complete waste. But I do know where one more Iron Crown Scout is, and that's actually right close to Annette Curfew, so we can go right back there and get that. That's actually a decent bubble, I guess, for the war steed, 7.8k morale. Oh, did somebody kill this Iron Crown Scout? Really? That is unfortunate for me, just because I ran specifically to get this one. I think the best way for me now is actually to head west and go west of Annette Curfew, but go up here for that. I feel like I am sinking down in my chair, so I should also reposition myself in a minute. If I had a good moment to go on auto run, I would do that, but here's the Iron Crown Scout. Actually, he's way over the other side of this little hill. Alright, and while these guys are getting defeated by my damage over times, just from like hitting my shield with my spear a little bit, the resounding challenge, it's kind of funny just because the skill is so strong using the animation, as far as I can tell, is just hitting your shield a little bit with your spear a few times like that, and that somehow does a lot of damage to enemies and at the same time bleeds them as if I'm hitting them with the javelin with that skill, even though I'm just whacking my shield with the spear. It triggers, which this character I need to actually respec. We can actually go ahead and do that. I'm a little bit curious on what I can do if I fix my build. Okay, I don't want that. I do want this. Do want this. That is a relatively small amount of armor penetration, I think. Want 1 point in that. I don't know if I need finesse. Don't really need finesse. Okay, let me see if I get 3 points in that, and then 1 in this, and I'll get finesse anyway. It looks like. And I don't really use these. The crit defense I also don't think is all that much. Adroit maneuver, the induction duration. Don't use that. I guess I can get more finesse and put a couple points in this. I think that's what I use on my other warden if I actually properly built this. I could get assailment gambit buff duration, debuff duration. No, that's gambit debuff. I don't want that. Bleed damage, physical mastery, light damage. More bleed stuff, more damage over time stuff. And then this one I want at least 1 point in that. I think this also affects Range Warden's Triumph is why I have that. I should actually confirm that. So normally it gives 10% range damage. With this it should give 19% range damage, I think. Let's see. That is not the case, so that actually only affects the melee version, it looks like. I did not know that, but it makes sense that it only affects the melee version. So we're going to respec again, just because that is a useless trait and I don't want that. So what's this one? This is marked and diminished target duration. I could actually get that. I don't remember what all traits I had before, but that is something I should definitely look into getting. It would be, it's not the most useful thing, but I think compared to my other options, it is actually nice just because that means I have to refresh it less often. So Tortuga, you were wondering the button to click on a tooltip to move it around. If you press H while you're hovering over something that has a tooltip, that will anchor it. So you can do that. So I just like hover over this and then press H, and yeah, I can do that. With anything, whenever a tooltip comes up, so you can do that with debuffs, you can do it with items. I use it kind of frequently if I am working on my allies to just have those up to see what they're like, and all sorts of stuff like that, basically. And like with Warden's Triumph, as I did too, see how it was beforehand and then after the trait. But anyway, as far as the build for this character, what I'm really curious is if I could actually get a yellow line build that gets light type damage, or at least gets Defiant Challenge. That would be fun. I don't know, too fun, but it would be fun to have as Yellow Line Warden. Be a little bit of an odd combination, though. But the main important thing is for my particular Warden build that I am doing. Burst damage when they expire. We'll see on that one. But this means I only have 11 points left, so that's not quite enough unless I take one out on that, and that would not be good. Is there anything in the yellow line? No, I have the yellow line as minimum as I can. Okay. And I really do want the extra bleed pulse, that is good. Okay, I thought that you could not get that, but I just wanted to confirm since I'm messing around a little bit with this Warden's build. Spear sweeping I will not be doing. It's good to remind myself, I think, every once in a while what everything does. Morale tab damage, I do use my morale tabs. This is a very small amount. I wonder if I use my gambit builders or morale tabs more. Everything is so weak, but I think the gambit builders actually do a relatively decent amount of damage for Yellow Line Warden. Probably would rather, even though I don't use the spear bleeds too much, especially for a landscape. For a landscape, I would rather basic strikes, but even though that's what I'm doing right now, but I'll go ahead and get the maximum overtime damage, I guess, option. Okay, got that accepted. Mysteries to unravel, that is approach Lukhag. Which I have no idea where that is. The Crystal Journal, they actually have that track. That is kind of interesting. I would not have expected this quest to track. I would have guessed it was just something you do throughout the zone and you have to find everything yourself. It looks like I do have a quest turn in here. Mysteries to unravel. Approach Lukhag. Is he in the inside maybe? Oh, it's this bat? That's a little bit weird. Okay, we will see where this leads. It is very much so a mystery to me right now, though. I don't know why we are following the bat. So we're in the Ingmarum area, near the gates of Gundabad. I really like Ingmarum structures. They're evil looking, but just a slight change to them, even with the same overall design, just a slight change to the color scheme maybe. I think it would be something interesting, I think, to have for like a player housing option. Like a house like this I think just is overall nice looking. Of course, right now the environment is dark, so it makes them look extra evil. I don't know, maybe even having an evil type of housing, evil looking housing wouldn't be such a bad thing. Alright, I'm defending the NPC bat, but I don't know where he is. Which is probably not a good thing. There he is. This is the Egrig person. Apparently there are more Ingmarum, which definitely should be expected with the whole Ingmarum housing theme going on here. There is a small chance this quest could, I think because it's an instance, I can't go too far away from the NPC, but on Landscape Escort quests, you can't actually go too far away from an NPC. Oh, there they are. I was wondering how I got to these enemies. I didn't see this little opening right here. I wonder... I don't think I actually knew you could go out this side of the Ingmarum structure, or get in from that side, for that matter. I remember back in the day, Maddening Strike was never a very good skill, but for some reason back in the day it used to do a relatively huge amount of upfront damage for a Warden, which is a little bit weird. So Egrig looks like an Ingmarum because it sounds like she is an Ingmarum trader. I still don't know how she randomly got involved with us with the questing earlier on. I don't know if I just wasn't paying enough attention or if she's supposed to be from somewhere else and I'm supposed to know her, but I do not. And she is going to go all the way back down there. Hopefully more enemies don't go and attack her. But in the meantime, we get to just sit and relax here while waiting for her to catch up. I am already holding for a moment. I was kind of hoping we would get to go in that and actually see what it looks like, but does not look to be the case. And it looks like we all have an elite to kill who has 517,000 health, which is like similar amount of health to signatures in this area as far as I remember. I really do like the Ingmarum theme in this zone though. I wonder what that's about. Oh, that's the NPC. Actually shows them on the map. I feel like that's interesting. But I like the Ingmarum influence with the zone just because it is close to Ingmar. There's Ingmar then Misty Mountains, but it'd be like, I think some people are hoping Gundabad will connect to Ingmar. So having them on this side of the mountain is pretty interesting, I think, and I do like that touch. It also gives something different. I don't think we've really had Ingmarum in new areas in LOTRO, other than this area as far as I remember. So it's kind of neat to have that old connection as well. Alright, time to switch to melee, even though I don't have Seize the Moment. I think that is my best action right now. He has very low resolution textures for his face. Oh, and hello, Monobubi Own. You asked if you can do a name change in LOTRO, and you can, but you have to pay LOTRO points as far as I know. I don't know how much it costs, so I can open up the LOTRO store here and check that for you. Which the LOTRO store opens in an external window, so it does not show for you all. But if I just search name, character rename is 995 LOTRO points, which is, it is a little bit expensive, excuse me there, but it is a little bit expensive in my opinion, but it's cheaper than I thought it would be. Usually things in the LOTRO store are way overpriced, so that's a little bit surprising. Oh yeah, and there is going to be a new endgame. Update 30 will be a new endgame area, I think around Gundabad. And Andrew was saying maybe the second new small region coming before Gundabad might be Angmarum, and it may be above the Elderslade map. Yeah, I really don't know where they will go. If they go to Bronak there, Tarbronak, Carbronak, if that would be Angmarum. But that would be interesting as well. I don't know if there's anything they can really do to the west that's not directly Gundabad, or anything to the southwest for that matter that also wouldn't be Gundabad. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see this with the zone, because the zone really does just end right there. You can't really see beyond that too much. Even in the huge map here, it just shows like Foradwaith, and there's Angmar. By the way, the Helagrad raid is right there, and Gundabad's supposed to be like way up here, and we're somewhere around this area-ish. But yeah, I'm guessing it will be somewhere in the area, just not actually in Gundabad. Would be my guess, at least somewhere just around it, and it does seem like the area to the north would make sense. That could also mean, I don't know if that would really mean dragon involvement, but it could, which would be exciting. Just I know there are dragons up that way. Okay, talk to the Angmarum trader and see where this quest leads. It seems like we have dragons, the hobgoblins, and the Angmarum as kind of three big things outside of just the orcs, which would include hobgoblins, I guess. But just a lot of themes here, I guess, in this zone. Okay, what are we doing here? Did I travel here? Am I in an instance? I am not in an instance, but I got instantly traveled here. I need to defeat Batkeepers. Oh, is there an actual cave I need to go into, it looks like? There it is. I see the ring on the minimap, and it is over here, so... Oh no, that may not be a cave, but there is a dwarf here with a quest, so I will get that quest. Bat samples. And here is the actual cave that I need to go to. Tith Zagoth. There's an interesting looking cave coming in Wildwood that has orcs and spiders. I think it's got a lot of layers to it, or at least a little bit of a maze-like design, it seemed like. I saw that from the preview from the world builder, who I am forgetting the name of right now, Scenario, who did that on his stream. I want to say last week, but that almost seems like that was way too not long ago enough, but I think it was last week. Basically, it feels like it's been longer since they did all that stuff, but I don't quite think so. Because I guess for me and my content, it's been a little bit weird. Late last week, I was not too busy, which was good. So on Friday, I was actually able to catch the Cordovan live stream with Severlin. So I was able to make a video on that and other things on that day as well. And then I also on the weekend worked on the video you all saw Monday with the class guide, the guide to the classes. And then as far as this week goes, I have basically not worked on videos and have just done live streams for 3 days in a row, which has been fun. And I also did a video today. It was not too long of a video, even though it'll be an hour-ish long. I still don't know exactly the length since I need to edit it. We are waiting for stuff to load right now. And Robert, you are wondering if it is a good idea to... I don't know that word. It's L-E-C-E, but then there's a little accent under the E, it looks like. Okay, to level up your Stout Axe Dwarf Guardian and have hope that single target will... Oh, Standing Stone Games will buff/rework him. I don't know if they will do that in the Gundabad expansion. It sounds to me like they're using all their class balancing basically class resources on the brawler rather than balancing the classes we have now and updating tanking and all that. I personally feel like major tanking rework should be a relatively high priority for them, but it does not sound like it is. But I would expect the Guardian to eventually be updated. When, I just don't know. Alright, let's see. I was kind of hoping that quest would let me travel. I wonder... I think Loueyden wants to go for a swim. I might technically be able to go faster by using my muster and Anak curfew and then running back over here, but I really do think Loueyden needs to go for a swim right now to do the Skatha, or whatever the name of that. Yeah, Skatha, I actually got it right. Continue that quest line. It's at least not as long as like swimming across Lake Evendom or anything like that. While we are swimming, maybe I can look at the map a little bit more. I just like looking at the maps, and LOTRO maps are fun. So Wildwood will be in Breland. It will kind of fill, I think, a little bit of this area. I don't know if there's supposed to be such a huge gap with the trees here. It just looks like it on this zoomed out map that there is such a huge gap between the Shire and Evendom, even though in-game it's not really that much. But it could also be that Hobbiton is showed here, and like maybe this whole part's supposed to be forested and then some of that's like Evendom. But yeah, Wildwood, I think, is kind of supposed to be this area in Breland if we look specifically at this map and take it as it is on this map again. Actually, Wildwood might be more of this area. I don't really know, but somewhere along that side east of the river, definitely. And we are already here. That was a very quick swim. Actually, we're not quite there. I was deceptively closer than I thought it was. But anyway, I don't think I completely answered your question, Robert. I talked a little bit about the Guardian, but your question was, is it a good idea? And I think... So the Guardian is not super bad right now, it's just the Captain is better. And the Guardian should be able to do any group content if you want to do that as like a Guardian tank. So I don't think it's a bad idea if you want to play the Guardian and you really like the class. I definitely think it is a good idea to keep leveling up your Statoxdorf Guardian if you are interested in the Guardian and tanking on the Guardian. Especially because balance will hopefully eventually change and the Guardian should eventually be buffed. Especially, I feel like the Blue Line Guardian is such an issue because it is a classic tank class. It should, well, used to be the tank in LOTRO. And the champion was a little bit an off tank, I think, but maybe they could do a tiny bit of main tanking. Like before, I'm talking about before even they added the Warden, before Mines of Moria. That's the way I understand it, at least. And then, with Mines of Moria, there was a Warden who could also be a main tank. Now they're more of a DPS. I don't think they were really a DPS back then. And I don't know what I'm doing here. Leo Thread, probably? This guy is honestly getting a little bit annoying. I feel like as far as the Elderslade questing goes, this is hopefully the most boring part of it because it is relatively boring compared to other stuff I have done in the zone, and especially just the war phase of the zone was so fun. With all the quests I had, I almost expected this to be a little bit similar and just the overall funness, but I guess a little bit of slow with going back to the Mist of Wilderland and having a few different things going on at once. Somebody mentioned this was a long quest chain. I am definitely seeing that so far. Okay, search for the next location on the map, which is just a little bit east. I wonder if Skatha will actually go up this way and get to Wormscraft from there. That's where it'll be. First, I can mine this Blingblood Scarn deposit. So Vulgar, you are wondering if it's debuff to the Guardian or buff to the champion that pushed champion ahead of Guardian. I think you might be meaning Captain ahead of the Guardian, because champion, as far as tanking goes, is not ahead of the Guardian right now. But I think... So it's a little bit weird. I don't think the Guardian was nerfed. And I also don't think the Captain was directly buffed. I think there has been a change in the way group content, endgame content, and boss mechanics work in LOTRO. So there are actually a few things, but first with the mechanics, they are very much so geared towards having good cooldowns, emergency cooldowns, and preventing one-shots, which the Captain and Guardian are both good at those. The cooldowns, the Captain's a lot better than the Guardian. But also, endgame has shifted away from block, parry, and evade, and this is one thing that really harms the Warden. Is the Warden is not good at surviving one-shots compared to the Captain or Guardian, which can avoid those better. But they are good at block, parrying, and evading, mainly evading, but most boss attacks you cannot BPE, so Wardens are a lot more vulnerable to those type of things. We're getting off topic with the Guardian a little bit, I realize, but the Guardian also has a lot with blocking, which I also think they can't quite do as well, and I think there are some issues with that, maybe with their survival cooldowns. But also, the Captain, the way I think their traits are built, it has to do with scaling as well. That just as levels have gone up and stats have gone up, and certain things scale well with level and high stats, and certain things don't. Especially as we go way up in the stats we have with like level 130. The Captain has a lot of good percent boosts that really work well with all the huge amounts of morale and stuff. And the Guardian does not have as much of that stuff as far as I know. I'd have to actually look at like the Guardian trait tree to remind myself of all this stuff. So I think there are two issues. One with the little bit of change or slow progression of boss mechanics that are like that have favored maybe a little bit more just raw survival, raw crit defense, raw mitigation, and strong cooldowns, which the Captain all has. And then a little bit of a shift from BPE with that, which the Guardian does have that. They do have good survivability, but also their cooldowns, I think, are also a little bit more BPE based. And I think I'm continuing north up here. Okay. Just making sure what I'm actually doing, or what I'm doing is what I'm actually supposed to be doing. So Jacob, you wonder if the later zones look better than the starting zones, and that is possible. I don't think the later zones look worse. I really like the starter zones, but I could see the graphics definitely being a little bit better here. It is possible. There is something weird with LOTRO, and even in World of Warcraft and other games, I think they look a lot better in video than actually playing, so that could be a little bit of that type of effect. That somehow watching a video of LOTRO like this just makes it look better. I don't know that that is the case for you, but for me, it is a little bit. But back to the tanking, there is also one other significant thing that the Captain has the Guardian does not, and that is group support. The Yellow Line Captain has a lot of good group support, and the Guardian doesn't really have any of that. And it's not, I don't think the Guardian should have group support. They are not really a support class. The Captain is a support class. I think it's a good thing their tank spec does have support. But they have support on top of already having like good scaling morale and good scaling traits, good defenses, really good cooldowns. So they have all that stuff going for them that the Guardian does not. Especially with the group support they provide. And the Captain has a lot of self-healing. They need less healing from the healers and things like that as well. So I hope that helps a little bit with the Guardian versus Captain from what I understand for that. Without actually looking at any of the classes to remind myself of the exact things they do. And especially the exact traits of the Blue Line Guardian, just because I don't really ever play that. I'm not immediately familiar with what all they do. slowly trying to pick this up. Okay, breeders or bleeders, something. These are breeders. We did get somewhere exciting though. At least before the stream ended, we got to dragons, or, well, drakes and whelplings. I still consider them their dragon kind. As far as LOTRO goes, I feel like they're basically considered dragons. Just drakes and worms, even particular types of dragons. Drakes and worms and whelplings. We get good variety here. So I need to destroy worm nests. That is what I was turning around to do actually, and then I need to defeat more breeders. Only defeated one. I think I have another one pulled and then pulled this new one right here. But yeah, as far as the graphics go, I assume if you're running, you said your settings are maxed out, so my settings aren't even maxed out. There are a couple settings that oddly to me can make the game look worse, even though they're like technically better settings. So just like a random one, high quality lighting usually looks good, but distant landscape lighting can make the game look worse to me. I don't think it always does, but there are certain areas where it does to me. And even some of the other lighting settings or even shadow settings just look a little bit worse to me somehow. And I think particular areas they can look better having the higher settings turned on, but it is possible you could just mess around with turning some of the lighting settings, turning some things off, Jacob, to maybe try to make the game look a little bit better. And I have my settings turned down a little bit extra right now just because I was having some FPS issues earlier, but right now I'm definitely not having FPS issues. I could probably turn them back up a little bit in this particular area. Okay, got a good set of nests there. Yeah, according to the map, I should be able to stay basically where I am. I feel like I need to reposition again. I am just sitting for so long, I slowly fall down in my chair. Okay, might as well go ahead and pull these extra enemies. This little whelpling, he is not wanting to join. We're getting to 4 dawn. I was like, I noticed the sky is becoming a little bit more colorful, kind of nice. It's a little bit orangish right now. A little bit orangish and somehow green looking to me at the same time. It's an odd combination, but it looks pretty neat from here. I don't know, it's the best thing for a screenshot. That's actually one thing with the Mists of Wildwood zone. I feel like that is a very nice and beautiful zone to explore, but I do not have many screenshots that look very great of that zone. As far as breeders go, I at the very least will have this one for the last one, and yeah, I was thinking I probably pulled more in that. We will see if I can actually destroy this. Yep, the worms and whelplings were too slow. I totally dragged off. Can't even think of the name of the skill. Force March. That's kind of nice. Somebody is selling food kits for hidden deeds. To me, 25 gold per deed is kind of cheap just with how much gold there is at endgame. I don't know how many deeds there are. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If those gave LOTRO points, that would be a very good offer 25 gold per deed if they even give just like 5 LOTRO points. What do I need to do now? I kind of completed these quests, and I don't think we found Skatha. So, here we go. Search the next location on the map. I just got untracked, and I'm actually pointing in the exact direction I need to be. We're also getting, it's turning a little bit yellow. It's really neat seeing this zone just sunrise. At this time, actually seeing it turn in today. Okay, so there's another cairn here. Okay, so I need to talk to Leothred again. Leothred's a little bit less annoying now that we're actually getting towards dragons. Don't know what this debuff is, but it looks dangerous, so it's just slowing. As far as Dragon Kindslayer goes, I actually only need like 68 more in this zone, so I am making deed progress. A little bit. I wonder if there's like a quest of Elderslade. I've done the War of Three Peaks phase of it, of course. But as far as quests of Elderslade and War of Three Peaks, I did quests of War of Three Peaks, but I still need complete mini quests in Elderslade. Need 12 more of those for a couple thousand virtue XP. This character's virtues, I wonder what's going on with them. Okay, this character is not that. Even Hobgoblin Slayer, Ingmarm Slayer advance, Troll Slayer advance. I'm on a bunch of advances, that's good. Wonder if there's separate one for War of Three Peaks for all the Slayers. Discover dwarf markers, 2 out of 12, not making good progress on that one. Mountain of missions, actually need 19 more of those. Haven't done too many missions since they added the deeds for the mountain of missions, that type of stuff. But virtue traits for this character, I'd consider myself personally just doing very well if I have 1 cap, so doing overall good on that, I would say. I still have, for this character, I think he still has some of his virtue booster pack things that give like 5,000 virtue XP, probably stuck in my vault somewhere. But I do have those. I probably should have used those. There's like a 20% virtue XP weekend in December. I probably should have used those on this character. I used them on some of my other characters, but not this one. Wow, this Valor, it only gives 4,000 physical mastery, but I think it would give a whole lot more at level 72. So these also have a pretty crazy curve, it seems like. Even between level 50 and what I'm guessing level 70 looks like. But anyway, with this character's virtues, it looks like I'm doing determination first, and I probably ran through that and decided it would be best to do that. I wonder if I should update my thoughts on that. Valor gives finesse for the second one. This one gives both agility and physical mastery, though. The physical mastery, of course, being secondary, and then it has critical rating for tertiary. This one has the same. This is probably a good enough option, even though this one would give more physical mastery overall. Still, I think. This one gives a tiny bit more critical rating. Actually, I think Valor, that would give more physical mastery overall. Depending, I guess, how it scales. Some of these things scale really weirdly. Like, just for example, with a scaling, something like Honor and Fortitude, they are good at low levels. They give more morale than loyalty, but I think at this point, at like rank 72, loyalty will actually give more morale than the morale virtues, which is weird. Eventually, I want to get a good video, somehow get a good position of a video and not be lagging at the time when one of these drakes just flies in. And with the UI hidden, of course, that would make a video like that better. But eventually, my goal with this zone and War of Three Peaks mini expansion era is to get a video of that at some point. I don't know that it will ever happen just because usually once I see something flying in, I'd have to actually hide my UI and somehow be in a good position to have like an actually interesting video of one of them flying in like that. So search the final location on the map. Wow, who would have guessed the final location on the map would have been actually Wormsgraf, where all these little dragons are coming from. Well, I can get a scroll of empowerment for doing this quest. I know a lot of people, Crystal Journal page, do want that. I know a lot of people don't like the legendary item grind. And I honestly don't know where I was going with that. Strange rock. Is this for the quest? Okay. That almost looked like something that would give me a new quest. Are they teleporting me? Okay, we're going into an instance. For some reason I thought they were taking me back to like Gannett Curfew or something. Experience the vision. So I probably should not be running over here. Maybe. I really don't know. It lets me use my mounts. Alright, we will investigate, see if I can just run way over here. I wonder if that's supposed to be also, oh, that is, I also search for Skatha. I thought that might have been, oh, it don't want me to go there. I thought that might have been Skatha actually talking, like communicating, but I didn't really see what exactly was going on. Oh, here we go. This is what is going on. The Weeping Warrior, is this the one that was talking about hunting Skatha as well? Looks like a much better outfit than the ones the dwarfs opt for in this area. Got something new in my inventory, just a crystal journal page. I did not know these would actually go in my inventory. That's a little bit odd. I feel like I need to keep them for the quest, but I'm not entirely sure. Wait, this is Near Dawn 65th day. This is also Near Dawn 65th day. This is Midnight 39th day. This one is Gloaming 65th day. And it looks like we are getting the sun shining through the rocks again. Through the landscape. It's not just like it's shining through rocks, it's shining through mountains there. Right, that is complete, and we can talk to Leothred, even though we are actually talking to Karazgar. Now to turn in the quest, it should be Leothred. Okay, Perilous Pact, the Death of Skatha. It sounds like it is a spoiler for this quest, the Death of Skatha. Not that I care too much about, like, spoilers. With something like that, it's kind of obvious we're drawing towards killing Skatha, but for all I knew, this questline wouldn't actually have us killing Skatha, and it'd be like some huge boss coming up in some future content pack, for all I knew at this point at least. Or potentially the quest name is misleading me. That is also possible. But I feel like I'm just looking too much into just the quest name of this. One thing I do like about these drakes though is we get a couple varieties. We get fierce mountain drakes and we get fierce cold drakes. So we get like green drakes and blue drakes all at once here. Beasts of Worms graph. Okay, defeat drakes and worms. That should not be a problem. There should be a strange rock coming up somewhere. The death of Skatha actually has me going back here though. So there might be a strange rock back where these NPCs are. Examine the strange rock next to Worms graph. And then the quest, the death of Skatha. Let's examine the uh-oh. I was paying zero attention to my character that whole time. Well, they actually, I guess, did like 15,000 damage, a few 8,000 attacks, 16,000. I should have been paying attention to my character, but I guess I just assumed they were doing basically no damage to me. I was just like going about looking for the thing for the quest, and then suddenly my character just fell over. Anyway, that is just a minor setback. I feel like I make good progress with questing. If I only die once and actually have to retreat once, I did die another time. But if I only have to retreat once in 2 hours of questing, that is good progress for me. I feel like this zone could potentially be like Gondor and have a nice bright, beautiful blue sky, but it is very gray. It has a little bit of that Mist of Elderslade feel to it, but not quite completely misty. It is, yeah, just a little bit cloudy. It's dark gray clouds that kind of darken the sky up. It almost makes it look like it's just polluted here, like over an urban area, city. But I do not believe that's the case, but it really does look like that. Like Gundabad is causing a bunch of pollution over this area. Alright, let's see his power potion. I should have removed my debuff. I totally messed that up on what I was supposed to do, and I unintentionally said messed that up, but it actually worked out. I feel like that worked better than saying messed that up. That was weird with that Drake, mainly because I was lagging and couldn't use my Gambit builder. And the Drake just totally kind of fell over like I did earlier when I thought he was not going to die at that time. And I need to use Shift 2 before I get knocked off my mount. That is something I should keep up, and it'll just prevent me from getting knocked off the Worsty. For anybody that maybe is unfamiliar with that, it is a trait in the medium Worsted build, and it is, what are these? Sacrifice there. Okay, I'm going to go UI hidden and go in first person like this. Or I got a little bit of a video of this Drake. But I just realized what could potentially be a great way to actually get a video of a Drake flying in like that. And that is just run through this area with my UI hidden. Oh no, I didn't use Shift 2 there. Okay, try that again. actually use sacrifice this time. I don't know if there'll actually be any drakes at this point flying in, but there we go. Maybe that was a good one. When they're just hidden by the mountains like that, just the ideal video, basically, I guess, would not have them being hidden during any moment of the fly-in. Don't remember if there are any up here actually heading to Wormsgraf. In Marshalo Gaming, I am playing a Warden right now. And I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to be going. Let me look at the map, and I do need to cross this bridge. Okay, that's what I didn't know, if I needed to cross this bridge, and it does look to be the case, and I have to be careful since I am zoomed all the way in. Going first person, basically. Yeah, that was not good with that drake. I do have to remember this is at 2 hours and like 5 minutes into the stream. Okay, let's actually first make sure I'm not in combat with these surprisingly strong whelplings. There it is. That is the strange rock. Okay. Well, I found the strange rock this time. That is the good news. And somebody mentioned Never Surrender earlier, and I forgot to reply to that. So Andrew, you said it would be way long ago. I don't even know if you're still here, but about Never Surrender, I do agree. That would be very nice if they could fix that. And for people that don't know what is wrong with Never Surrender, is it basically doesn't work. If you fall below 15% morale, sometimes you will not recover 50% morale. And it's also supposed to prevent you from dying, except to extreme effects, basically. But it also does not prevent you from dying. Okay, so instance Death of Skatha, approach the vision of Karazgar, and experience the vision. Okay. This is a nice cave. There is Skatha. So apparently in the vision, in the past, Loueyden is there doing all the work in slaying this dragon. I really don't believe any of these NPCs are offering any help right now. Actually, this thing is dying very quickly, and I don't think that is all because of me, unless I'm getting some sort of huge buff. That was honestly anticlimactic. Yeah, those dragon entrance animations are neat, and that is what I'm trying to get the video of. But that was super anticlimactic with Skatha. That was like, I don't know, I feel like that was like fighting an ant. All these drakes outside and even little worms were significantly more interesting fights. This looks like a decent amount of gold. I will say that. So apparently this Karazgar guy has a family heirloom here, and we get to take all of this loot. I will probably see a couple silver for the quest turn in, and LOTRO quests do not give that much gold, and I really doubt this quest will be anything different. Got a scroll of empowerment. I wonder... Probably want range damage on this one. Let me make sure range damage. Did I actually finish range damage? Well, I actually did finish a legacy and it was range damage. The next one I would want to do is light damage. The range damage one actually goes up to 34.8%. It's fairly significant, I think. But as far as my next scrolls of empowerment, just looking forward for my allies, since there aren't that many useful legacies for the Warden. I have android maneuver damage. I really don't need that. I think that's what this javelin came with, though. Fist Gambit skill damage. Could do Fist Gambit skill damage, especially if Resounding Challenge counts for that. This might be a good option for the next thing, or just light damage. Across the board, light damage. Maybe that one, maybe light damage eventually. Anyway, as far as this quest goes, I get 71 silver, 56 copper for that. And let's see, I do get a part of Skatha's Hoard. I get a pocket item, which is something I actually do need. I'll get even more finesse. I already have a lot of finesse, but honestly, this is almost, it's of course an upgrade with the finesse. This means with other gear pieces I wouldn't need as much finesse, but it's almost even a downgrade in a way. Just because I lose vitality, I know I gain agility, which is of course good, but not that much. And losing 500 vitality is also not that much, but could be considered slightly better for my character right now. I also do already have an essence. In the other one, I'd have to put a worse essence in it, so I'm at a weird spot where I actually will not use the new one, even though it's better. I just actually need an essence for it. Unless it looks like that ring might have an upgrade, so this is Framesburg, talk to Loueyden, travel now, don't know where we're traveling, but we're traveling.
Fram was taken aback by his own demeanor. He loathed his unwillingness to
So we went
between the dwarves and the
somewhere down southeast, okay.
Upon him, he made a plan and acted upon it. Fram set out towards Skatha's Hoard, as he often did.
That is actually what I was wondering, why there are dead dwarves here. Get a decent view of the mountains from this area. I think that's Anak Curfew. That is as far as I can go in the solo instance. Unfortunately, again, this zone, it's not the most beautiful or pretty zone. First of all, the landscape is very dead looking and very rocky. It fits the name Elderslade to me. It's also not quite as green as like the Wells of Blingblood. There's also still the fog going on. The sky is so dark, it really does look like there's pollution everywhere in it, but yeah, just a lot of the clouds and darker clouds. It makes the zone not look super pretty. I did not really pay attention too much to what was going on here. I don't know if this Karazgar guy is supposed to be bad or not. And it looks like he is turning evil because he just wants to kill Fram. Apparently we just let him. Just didn't like stop him or do anything there. This guy, I don't know if it's intentional, but it looked like he was holding his left hand in a fist. Wait, did Fram? I don't know, maybe Fram was able. I kind of missed what was going on, but it's a little bit interesting, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Karazgar there was actually the evil one, not really Fram. Anyway, quest rewards. I can get a ring of Skatha's Hoard. This one gives physical mastery, which I need, and then I can replace finesse rating, but I can get the finesse rating from the other thing. Let me make sure the might one is not more useful, and it does not look to be the case. So as far as which one I want to replace, I think I want to replace the one on the left. It's 5 item levels lower and just has lower stats, even though they have the same stats. This one I can deconstruct into Embers of Enchantment, so make sure I do that before I forget. And it looks like I can get more Skathas Horde rewards. This one has a shoulder pad. All the armor here looks the same. I don't know. I'm guessing that was intentional, but it seems like every single quest reward, every single piece of armor looks the same as all the other armors in this zone. And here we get to actually go to Wormsgraf, and we're searching for evidence of Karazgar. Here. And somehow fights, once again, like with these strikes, feel way more epic than the fight we actually had with Skatha there. And even these fights, I know I just like put my DOS on as a warden in a way, but it really does feel like that to me. I don't know, maybe it was intentional that the Skatha fight was a sort of a letdown. I don't know why that would be the case, but it's possible. Now there are a bunch of little whelplings and worms and stuff here. What am I doing? Just searching evidence? Don't know where to search, but this cave looks significantly larger than it was when I first went in this too, when we did Skatha. Here's Leothread and Frothy. This looks like a nice little camp though. I mean, you have your bed there. You have all this different food and supply type things, and importantly, you have a little dagger stabbed into a note, which I can actually interact with this note, and that is what I need to do for the quest.
Only one question remains.
Okay, now I'll search for evidence of Skatha's Horde, which I have a lot of items from that, but I need to search for evidence of that, I'm guessing, in this cave. Hardships and prosperity, yes, that is correct in this cave. I will turn floating names on just in case. That helps. In this direction might be where I need to go. And here is Skatha's Horde. That armor looks way more interesting than the armor they give me in this zone. You can actually jump in here. That's neat. They'll let you dance around in Skatha's Horde. Can't quite tell what that is. There's a sword here. Very pixelated sword. Random gems and stuff. That almost looks like a shield. Also, don't know quite what that is. But yeah, there is a lot of gold here. Some of it looks a little bit copperish, but that is okay. We'll see. I'll probably still only get like 72 silver or something from this quest. After all this gold I picked up, I'm really curious how much of this I will actually see. And it looks like I get 71 silver, not even 72 silver. But I do get some shoulder pads, which will not be an upgrade for me. So yeah, I guess. And that is it for that quest. They're just cheering at having Skatha's Horde, and even though I'm here and could take a lot more, I only get 71 silver out of it. And some useless shoulder pads, I guess. So yeah, that's the end of that quest and storyline. That's a little bit of a funny ending, in a way. And they really do just keep going on. I wonder how long they would actually sit here and cheer before they either grew too tired or actually took some of the hoard. And all that precious gold and treasures and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to muster back in at curfew. And I might do the quest leading up, but I think I am getting close to wrapping up with this stream, I think. I have been going quite a while and I'm getting kind of tired at this point. It is close to bedtime for me. Which means I should be wrapping things up since I don't have all too much that I really need to do. So I will... Not this one, not that one. This one. So that is the last of you see of those two. Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd kind of ending that you just like go to that hoard and then they just sit there forever cheering on the gold and treasures. And then it's the last you see of them. I wonder if they ever will show up in future content. I really am not familiar with those two characters, if they're in content actually leading up to this or not. But it would be interesting if you go back to that cave for something maybe unrelated to the treasure even, and then they have you... The two NPCs are still there. I at least think that would be neat. Maybe not though. But anyway, as far as the rest of this stream goes, I will just plant these banners and head to this Zudramdan place. And as far as upcoming content, I plan tomorrow to have a video. That is the plan, at least. It might be a little bit later in the day than I usually have videos, just because I have not edited it yet. And it will probably take a very long time for my PC to render, because when I have the webcam in a video, apparently it just takes forever to render having the webcam versus not having the webcam. Having a second video layer, I guess, does that, and there should be a quest item, right? Okay, we'll get the Blingblood branches. But yeah, that will be a Warden relevant video. And otherwise it's a very weird video, so that is all I want to, I guess, share or tease with it at this moment. And otherwise, I don't really have too much solid plans for upcoming content after that. Maybe Saturday I'll actually return to streaming again. I don't know, I'm thinking about doing my hunter on Anor and trying to get a little bit of Wildwood prep done. And yeah, basically not too many plans going forward that I am immediately aware of as far as content goes. So with that, as far as the stream goes, I hope you all enjoyed me returning to Elderslade and getting some quests done here. I will admit, what we did today is probably a little bit less exciting than what I have already done with the War of Three Peaks overall. I am just trying one thing out because I saw some drakes flying in and I want to see if one will actually fly in while I have everything in first person and zoomed in and I'm ready for that. And probably not. Yeah, at this rate, that does not look like that will happen. Just thought I'd try circling around there to get that. But yeah, I did have fun overall getting back to Elderslade. It's just the questing I have done is a little bit less exciting. We did get the Skatha storyline done. It was a pretty interesting storyline. It was a little bit of an odd pacing structure to me, but that was okay. It's something, I feel like that's an example of a questline that is fun to do once, but doesn't offer too much replayability, in my opinion at least. And we have arrived at Zudramdan. And I think this is a good place to end it. I will pick back up with the questing here, I think, whenever I get back to Elderslade on Loueyden. And yeah, as far as the stream goes, that is all I have then. So after I kill these wargs, we will wrap up with this, and I hope you all did enjoy all of that. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content, and thanks for joining.